Okay, I think we are going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's webinar on Azure Monitor SCOM Managed Instance. It's great to have you on board today. I believe Aakash is on board as well. Hello, Aakash. How are you?
Hi, Hal. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you and other members of your team joining. I know it's late in the evening in your time, and really appreciate you sharing this information with the group today. And thank you all for attending. We saw a great level of interest in today's event, and I think that obviously follows a great level of interest in SCOM and SCOM Managed Instance. So let's go ahead and get started. Just quickly, logistics. We do want this to be an interactive event, and both sessions from Aakash as well as from myself. We do want your feedback, and I think we'll use the team's chat window to manage any questions that you may have. We'll be monitoring that chat actively and answering questions you have. As well, we will be a couple of surveys are going to be part of today's agenda. And we do really encourage your feedback. It's very important for you to get your feedback to help us make better products and provide better webinars and events such as the one we're attending here today. And the session is being recorded, and links will be sent out after the event is completed. And so the agenda is very straightforward. I'm going to hand things over to Aakash, who's going to talk to us about Azure Monitor SCOM Managed Instance and hopefully share some of the new things that him and his team are working on. And then I'm going to follow that up with just a quick discussion overview of the solutions that we provide for both SCOM as well as SCOM Managed Instance. And we've got a brand new product that we're announcing today. Actually, it's a new service. And I'll be showing you that quickly as well. And we'll follow that up with any remaining outstanding questions. We'll get to that towards the end of the event. And so with that, Aakash, I'm going to hand things over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Harold. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you're joining from. My name is Aakash. I'm from the product group, which has been part of this wonderful development in terms of SCOM Managed Instance. I've got multiple of my colleagues here who have joined and who will be able to help answer some of your questions and ensure that there are no more queries or concerns or doubts on how to use SCOM Managed Instance, what is its purpose, or what value is it going to provide to me, right? With that said, firstly, while we go ahead and talk what SCOM MI is, there is a quick form survey which I would encourage everyone to go ahead and fill it right away. It'll hardly take a couple of minutes. It is not a descriptive survey, and then I'm assuming it's going to be in the chat. Yes, it's already in the chat. It'll hardly take a minute or two, and it's majorly we would want to know how have you heard of SCOM MI, or if you've heard of SCOM MI at all, and then we want to know what interests you in SCOM MI. Is it the product? Is it the future investments, or is it the futuristic investments in the product, or it's more about reduced cost and infrastructure management with SCOM MI. That's one of the question. And of course, what else? What is stopping you from trying SCOM MI, or what are some of the hurdles that you're facing? So it's just 3 questions, and that's it. And we should get started with what SCOM MI is. To put things into perspective, SCOM MI was released as a GA in mid-November, I would say, and it's been about 3 months, 2 to 3 months now. And we've seen a lot of customers who have tried it out and who have really enjoyed what SCOM MI is. There has been a constant raise on constant questions around pricing, licensing, and all of those. Those things are available in documentation, but we can quickly talk about it in today's conversation. I want to spend about 20-25 minutes talking about what is there in current SCOM MI, what have been the recent recent enhancements, and what is going to come up soon. That said, I definitely encourage you folks to fill that form survey quickly, and then we can get started in a minute, right? Let's transition to the next one. Yeah, so why SCOM MI, or what is SCOM MI? So SCOM Managed Instance is purely SCOM product in Azure Cloud, where you get the simplified management structure of SCOM. All the SCOM components are created in Azure, but it is Microsoft managed, right? So you do not have the labor cost or the administrative cost of managing SCOM. it's patching, it's reboots and whatnot, operating system patches, COM patches, agent patches. All of those is uplifted and managed by Microsoft, and then we ensure that your management servers, including the whole of SCOM infrastructure, is healthy and available all the time, right? And at the same time, the another piece is SCOM has been in the system, or has been used by customers for more than a couple of decades, right? So there's been a lot of custom management packs which is not easily transferable to any other observability tools, right? So SCOM managed instance, which is part of the Azure Monitor world, you will be able to reuse those management packs, right? All the configurations, including notifications, including groups, all of those can be reused with SCOM MI, and it makes the job easier to use all those monitoring rules, right? And thirdly, consolidate operation experience. As I mentioned, SCOM MI is a capability of Azure Monitor, and it's integrated with Azure Monitor in almost all sense. If there are few, considering where the product is right now, there are few fragmented experiences in its current form. But of course, we are investing to make sure that, hey, whatever SCOM MI is monitoring, we're able to see everything under one umbrella. Currently, SCOM MI alerts are available in Azure Monitor Alerts, Azure Alerts rather. SCOM MI performance data, metrics data, all of that is available in Grafana, Power BI, as well as in workbooks. So that is visualization, which is available in Azure, in one place. The operations, right? Administrative operations such as scaling, patching, and all of it is available in Azure Portal. So there are few small fragmented experience, which is probably creating the maintenance schedule or managing the management packs. Those things are still still needs to be done in Ops Console. But of course, we are working to close that gaps as much as possible. Right? That said, these are the main three takeaways, the value props of the product, and I want to know from you, as part of the survey which is pasted in the Teams chat, which of these three are the most important to you, right? Is it the simplicity of the product and the cost and administrative efforts being reduced? Is it the reuse of SCOM investments, or is it the everything under one umbrella? Which of this is the major takeaway for you? It could be multiple as well, but I would want your priority in today's survey. That said, SCOM MI, yeah, as I mentioned, is a capability of Azure Monitor. It enhances Azure Monitor in terms of health models, because that is something which has been asked from a long time, saying that, hey, Azure Monitor meets all my needs, but the health model or the health piece is missing. Now SCOM MI fits into the product, fits into the whole Azure Monitor umbrella, and lights that up, right? And as I mentioned, you can use your existing management packs. You can author new management packs as well, and reuse them in SCOM MI. And of course, all of that is under one umbrella, which is or all of the experiences consolidated, which is alerts, reports, log analytics, and event hubs, right? That said, I want to clearly call out when to use SCOM MI and when not to use SCOM MI. It is recommended to use SCOM MI when you've already been using SCOM and SCOM management packs from historical, from past few years, or from from a decade or more. It's not for a customer who's getting into cloud and wants to start monitoring their workloads, and they want to explore SCOM MI. It doesn't. That is not the purpose of SCOM MI. It is to help existing SCOM customers move to Azure while their workloads are being migrated to Azure. It is for folks who want to modernize their management tools, which is SCOM in this case, and want to reduce admin costs, and for customers who are migrating their workloads. Who are, let's say you have an Exchange on-prem environment, you're probably moving them to IaaS, Azure IaaS-based Exchange servers. While you're migrating the workloads, you would want to ensure that, hey, I'm able to use my Exchange management packs as well, and then use SCOM MI, right? So these are the three scenarios when to use SCOM MI. And as I mentioned, you have a lot of cost savings for existing SCOM customers. One of them is the basic cost is you have the $6 per VM per month as the billing model. But while you're using SCOM MI, that's the basic licensing and billing model. While you have the underlying operational cost, which is that of Azure VMs and the SQL MI and all of those, which are considerably lower compared to an on-prem cost. And of course, there is human effort, right? You need usually 2 to 3 or sometimes 4 folks to maintain and manage your SCOM environment. But here, with all the operations automated, the labor cost or the effort required will be reduced to one person in overall, right? So this is the basic pricing model. One of the things which customers keep coming back and saying that, hey, $6 per VM per month is pretty expensive compared to what my existing SCOM on-prem expenses are, because I'm using all other system center products like config manager, virtual machine manager, and whatnot, right? So the $6 per VM per month is the standard pricing model. I would encourage you folks to talk to Microsoft field reps and see what is the best price that they can provide. I'm sure your system center licenses, the invoice or the amount that you paid for system licenses, you can talk to the field reps and see if there can be any kind of discounts or if there's any kind of reduction in the overall billing, right? So it's not a hard I would say hard call saying that you have to pay $6 per VM per month based on your the Microsoft representative with whom you work with in terms of buying some Microsoft products. There can be a bit of leeway there. Okay. That said, when not to use SCOM MI, if you've never tested or used SCOM ever previously, so this is not for you. You would rather want to use something which is easy to latch onto, something like an Azure monitor where you create a VM in Azure and all of a sudden, and the metrics starts showing in Azure monitor. You don't need to enable a specific service for that. And if you're modernizing your workloads to SaaS, then SCOM MI may not be the right fit, right? Although we do have a couple of management packs, such as Azure Management Pack and M365 Management Pack. Those are based on synthetic monitoring, right? It goes ahead and fetches the data by probing, right? It may not be the best fit, and of course there are other types of SaaS as well. So if you're completely modernizing to SaaS, SCOM MI may not be the right fit, right? So that said, I want to jump to what has been the latest feature enhancements and how it is helping users achieve their SCOM MI goals quickly, right? So the first one I want to start off with is the onboarding improvements that have been added onto SCOM MI. Let me just quickly switch my pen. So in the past 3 months, 2 to 3 months, initially the SCOM MI was available in 10 regions, specifically 3 to 4 regions in US, a couple of regions or a couple of more regions in the Europe, including UK, one region in Australia, and a couple of regions around the other parts of the globe, right? But in the past 3 months, we have added 3 to 4 more regions in the past 2-3 months, like Southeast Asia, Australia, an additional region, and a couple of more regions in Europe. So we are currently available in, let's say, around 13 to 14 regions, Azure regions, right? That has been one of the major, I would say, enhancements or improvements, the region availability. Now, with regards to onboarding, right? So we've heard a lot of customer feedback saying that, hey, I've tried deploying SCOM instance. It's not going through. I'm not able to complete the prereqs. There are a lot of prereqs. How can I quickly get around them, right? So what we've done is these are the 11 steps to create the SCOM MI. We have added links here so that you can quickly go ahead and complete the prereqs directly from here without navigating away from this page, right? For example, if you need to register the SCOM managed instance RP, right? So you click on this, then a new tab opens. You just need to follow the instructions there, right? At the RP. Similarly, if I want to create if I need to create a new subnet, it takes me to a new page, and then where I can create a subnet and come back to this page and continue, right? Once all the prerequisites are met, you can continue to create, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly share. I'm going to quickly fill up the values. I have few values that I want to quickly test. So I'm going to use one of my subscription and then resource group. Once that is done, I'm going to choose Silect as the name, and I'm going to choose Southeast Asia as one of the regions, and then I'll fill up scommi.com. I'm going to quickly fill up all this information. I just want to show you how easy it is when you're filling up the data. Once you have all the prerequisites ready, it's pretty easy to move forward. OU is not mandatory, so I'm going to skip that. And then most of it is pretty much a drop down. So I'm going to use the drop downs available here. Password is password. Again, we are using Key Vault, so those were pre-created. Virtual network, I'm going to use my VNet, and then subnet. So as you see, because of the prereqs already available, my inputs become easy and the validations is on the go. Okay, this is done, and then right, and then we choose the SQL database. So I can quickly drop down and choose my existing SQL database, which is SQL MI Southeast Asia, and then the identity, user managed identity available with the instance. That's it. So these were the prerequisites that needed to be filled. Once that is done, tags are optional, and then I validate. So this takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It tells me what is working or what prerequisite is right, what prerequisite is not met. And then in about 10 minutes, it will tell me, hey, you're ready to go. You can click on now create. And that will probably take another 25 to 35 minutes. And then my SCOM MI instance is ready. Right? If you compare this to your SCOM on-prem, that would easily take a day or two, considering you have to, hustle through multiple teams to get a VM, to get the domain credentials and whatnot. Right? So an activity that took a couple of days is reduced to about 45 minutes. Right? So we're going to skip to the other enhancements while the creation is ongoing. So this is how the recent SCOM MI, the latest SCOM MI instance, a newly created instance, looks like. Close this. Yeah. So this is how the latest. I'm not looking at the questions. Probably I'll field those questions in the end of the demo. Folks from my team can field those questions while I'm demoing. So yeah, this is how the UI would look like on the overview page. You already see that, hey, there is an update available. I can click on view update and see what is available or which version I need to go to, and then click on update instance. Right? If I want to know what update or what information is available or what actual enhancements are available in this update, then I can click on this release notes and I can click on update instance. Right? So just a quick note, when you click on update instance, your environment is still up and running. The monitoring will continue. You would not see a drop in monitoring data, as simple as that. Okay, that's it. When a new instance is created, I want to get started with transferring the management packs. As I said, I have probably migrated my Exchange workload. Now I want to go ahead and transfer the management packs. With this migration accelerator, what this does is it's at the end of the day, technically it's a management pack which sits on the operations console, allows you to choose the source and the destination, source being your on-prem environment, on-prem SCOM, and destination being your SCOM managed instance. In this case, it is SMI Demo 1. You get to choose what management packs I can transfer, what I can download newly in my managed instance, and what cannot be transferred. Right? So it helps you not only with management packs, it also gives you an inventory of the agents which are there in SCOM on-prem. It gives you an inventory of notification subscriptions, managed groups. All of those are provided in the tool, which you may need to migrate manually. Management packs can be transferred automatically from SCOM on-prem to SCOM MI. So now you have created SCOM MI. You have, you're using Ops Console. you have moved all the custom configurations using the migration accelerator, and now you start using the start monitoring, start the actual monitoring. So the monitoring enablement is with the help of VM extensions. So what we have done is you can come to this page here called monitor resources, click on new monitor resources, choose any VM which is either Arc enabled or Azure, right? Irrespective of the domain, irrespective of work group, you can monitor any of these VMs which are Arc enabled or Azure, right? So let's say I choose this first VM which is on my screen. I click on add, and then when I click on add here or install, it tells me, hey, this is the VM, this is the resource group that the VM belongs to, and then I click on install, and the agent gets SCOM MI agent. It's not the old SCOM on-prem agent. It is the new SCOM MI agent. Although they may look alike if you remote into the VM and check the actual control panel programs. It may seem the same, but it's the new agent that gets installed and gets automatically connected to SMI demo 1. And once connected, it will start showing success and connected. You can see all the data, the default management packs getting the data for the specific VMs. For the VMs which are not Azure Arc enabled or Arc enabled or Azure VM, you may need to ensure that there is line of sight network connectivity between Azure and your on-prem server. Then you will be able to add them, not through this portal experience, but you will be able to add them through the SCOM Ops console, like the traditional way you do it, right? And for, let's say, for a VM which is completely isolated, like in a DMZ zone, right? That can be added with the help of the same VM, the new VM extensions, which is gateways. So in short, gateways are no more required if you're monitoring a non-domain machine or a workgroup machine, if they are Arc enabled or Azure machine, right? You only need gateways if you want to monitor a VM which is behind a network or behind a firewall, which is not directly accessible from Azure, right? So what you do is you create a new gateway on an existing Arc machine, because we expect gateways to be used for on-prem machines which are isolated. So hence we need one intermediate machine which is Arc enabled. So you choose any of the existing Arc enabled machine, and then you install the gateway on it, right? So you click on install, the gateway gets installed. And once the gateway is installed, what you do is you log on to the operations console and add the VM which is behind the gateway, right? Just like how it was previously. Right. So we welcome your feedback. If you're thinking that, hey, I would want to add the machine on the Azure portal itself, if you think that makes sense, then probably put that on the chat as well, right? So once the gateway is installed, you will see the health of the gateway, and then if you want to see the health of the machine behind the gateway, then you need to see that in the operations console. That is a small fragmented experience. We're trying to cover that gap soon. Okay, so these are the two major enhancements. It is still in preview. We welcome your feedback. We want to know how is this experience. So it will go GA once we have more, once we see more reliability, as well as at the same time more confidence amongst customers. Post that, we have made significant improvements in visualization. Right, we had Power BI during our preview phase. We introduced Grafana. Grafana, currently, you need to create the managed instance manually and then link it with a little bit of manual steps. However, once the link is done, you need to import the management packs, import the default dashboards which are there, and then you'll start seeing those dashboards here. I'm going to refresh this page to ensure this is aligned properly. So there are many customers who have had built dashboards in their management packs, or the dashboards were available with existing management packs. So for those management packs which have been very prominent, let's say for example, SQL, IIS, Windows MP, all of those, we will be building and providing templates, dashboard templates which are workload specific or technology specific, like SQL dashboards or IS dashboards. So we will be publishing those dashboards in Grafana. All you need to do is you need to go ahead and import them, right? So once imported, you will start seeing alerts by priority, alerts by resolution. How many alerts do I see? What are the monitored servers? How many of them are healthy, unhealthy, all of them? And then you will also see the top alerts. Again, Grafana is the dashboarding capability that has been introduced with that has been part of Azure Monitor. SCOM MI is just one of the users of Azure Managed Grafana. Okay. Similarly, within the Azure portal, we have also added log analytics integration, which will help you investigate logs and metrics directly from the portal, right? For example, when you open logs on the left-hand side, you already see a couple of queries available. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this bottom query, which will give me the health status of all the VMs, which is being monitored. Currently, I'm monitoring around 20 to 22 VMs. I see that, hey, this is the health status of all these VMs. I have a couple of more queries which I can quickly run. Take this. We will plan to add helpful queries as part of our template here. It will be available as part of the queries here. Okay. So let me get what is the percentage processor or the performance of the CPU for all the machines, and this will come up as a line chart below, right? So for example, this machine, which is actually my server machine, the SCOM MI, is performing at a high value, right? So there is average value 6, the process time is at 6%. Let's take another example of another machine, or I can click on a machine here and know the performance as well. So this one is AZT DVM 1 machine, which is brown in color, and the average value is 1%, right? Which is performing pretty well. Similarly, I can get the free space on the disk by running this query, and this is how it is. It's been pretty constant. So the free spaces have been no changes because these are all test VMs, right? So you can do a lot of investigations using log analytics built right into SCOM MI. You can enable this log analytics integration with the help of log analytics workspace, right? This is a one-click experience where, if enabled, you will start seeing the data in log analytics workspace, right? Irrespective of log analytics, Grafana data will still be available because it fetches the data directly from SQL. Then comes workbooks. Workbooks also gets the data from log analytics. And currently we have built one workbook, which is alerts and health state. We will be adding more workload-based workbooks in upcoming weeks and months, right? So in this alerts and health state workbook, we see alerts, how many alerts have been created over the past 7 days, and then what is the category of these alerts, what are the different types of alerts, and then we also see the health state of the VMs, right? Currently, there are 23 VMs which are being monitored, amongst which 22 are healthy and 1 is not, right? So we will be adding more experiences in terms of workbooks, Grafana dashboards, and helpful log queries in upcoming weeks and more. We will be more than happy to know what are some of your most important dashboards that you would want to see, or important queries that you'd want to see, so that it helps you start off with any form of investigation, any form of mitigation plans after monitoring, right? So these are some of the things that I wanted to showcase. I would want to stop my screen and probably field the questions that are there. Let me go back to the chat.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, Aakash. The whole time you were speaking, questions were coming in, and I think you have some team members answering some of those questions. I know Bob Cornelison from TopCore is on board as well, answering some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Yeah. So yeah, that's from my presentation standpoint. Those were the main things that I wanted to showcase. And in the meantime, I'm going to quickly check what is the status of my response. I see 54 responses. Really appreciate it. Thank you. For the folks who may have not fill the responses. I'm going to paste the query or the link to the survey again. Harold, do we want to take a few minutes to look into the questions, or do you want to start off?
So I just reposted the survey. So for folks who haven't answered that survey from Aakash, please take a moment to do so now. Perhaps what I'll do, Aakash, is just take a couple minutes and talk about how we support SCOM, Azure Monitor SCOM Managed Instance, and also show a new solution. And then perhaps in the meantime, you and your team can look at those other questions, and then we can come back at the end and answer anything that, or highlight anything that you may want to highlight.
Sure, that'll work.
Okay, that's great. Excellent. Thank you so much. Really, some really exciting news coming out of you and your team with Grafana extensions, more workbooks. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I even saw a SCOM 2025 reference in there, but that's really exciting to see. Okay, so let's switch back to the agenda. And so, yeah, on to the next slide, which will be just to talk a little bit about how we support SCOM and specifically SCOM Managed Instance. And so I guess to start with, we have a family of solutions, of course, for SCOM, and all of our solutions work across the family of SCOM solutions, whether the SCOM on-prem or now Azure Monitor SCOM Managed Instance. MP Studio is used to manage the complete life cycle of all your management packs. So that's right from authoring to tuning, version control, backup. MP Studio provides really a one-stop shop for all of your management pack needs, specifically in authoring and those lifecycle management features. MP Studio also provides a great migration tool to go from SCOM on-prem to SCOM MI. So not only do we look at management packs, but we also look at other SCOM configuration settings. We look at maintenance schedules, notifications, and other custom settings in SCOM and help you make that migration to SCOM MI very, very easy and straightforward. The Silect Operations Portal provides a web browser interface to that management pack lifecycle, again, providing that authoring and tuning capability for your SCOM management packs. And it really opens up some new scenarios to allow non-IT groups to be able to view monitoring configurations, to be able to make adjustments to those monitoring configurations, to set up their own notifications and their own notification schedules. So you can begin to offload some of those tasks to other groups within your organization. And last but certainly not least, the Power BI dashboards for SCOM give you great insights, not only into the health of your IT infrastructure, but also look into SCOM itself. And for SCOM Managed Instance, where data volumes could perhaps be important to understand where data is coming from, where alerts are being generated, those Power BI dashboards really give you some good insights into your SCOM MI infrastructure. Now, the news today, the big announcement from us today is we're introducing the Silect Cloud. So today we're announcing a public preview of the Silect Operations Portal Managed Instance. So what is it? The Portal MI is a secure service running in Azure. It provides MP Lifecycle Management as a service. So no software to set up, nothing to configure. Go to cloud.silect.com, sign up, log in, and begin authoring management packs, begin tuning your existing management packs. We can automatically back up management packs from, for example, your SCOM MI infrastructure, and all that is being offered as a service. As with all of our products, the Silect Operations Portal Managed Instance works not only with SCOM MI, but also your on-prem SCOM environment. And for a limited time, it's available free of charge. So if you're interested in authoring a management pack, if you want to leverage Fragments, which provides you a very powerful authoring environment, go ahead, log on to the service, create your management pack, download it, and you can deploy that management pack as needed. So what I thought we'd do as well is just show you a real quick demonstration of that new service. So I'll flip over to my SCOM Managed Instance that we have up and running now. We just created a link in the workbook to go to the Silect Cloud. And here I'm going to log in to that new Portal Managed Instance. And a couple of things we make available through the instance is we have, number one, we have a catalog of management packs. So we have hundreds of management packs that are accessible through the catalog. You can view them, you can report on them. And as well, these are sealed management packs. I have my own working folder here to be able to work with the management packs that I'm developing or staging. And in fact, here I have a copy of all the override management packs I have running in my SCOM MI environment. These are all the unsealed MPs that we're running. I can work with any of these unsealed management packs, open them up here. I can view the properties and the elements. Here we can see a number of different overrides for thresholds and for enabling monitors and elements, etc. From this point, I can go ahead and edit this management pack. So we can come in here. I can make changes to any of the overrides that might be defined within this management pack. I can remove overrides. And when I'm finished doing the work with any of these management packs, I can simply download the management pack and then again deploy that as needed to my SCOM environment. Similarly, when I view some of the sealed management packs, of course, there's a lot of information in those sealed management packs, but we provide you with tooling to be able to help you find exactly what you need. So I can customize this view. I can look at monitors. I can do reports. We have a number of view options as well as filtering to help me. I find exactly the information I'm looking for in any of these management packs. We do provide you with the ability to edit the sealed management pack, which means, of course, creating an override management pack. And just something else to show you is the authoring experience. So again, if you want to sign up to the cloud, if you want to just simply go in here and download or create a new management pack, we provide this authoring experience where I can create a management pack. I can define which platform, what version of Operations Manager, whether it's Windows, SNMP, or Linux. And the authoring experience uses fragments to walk me through the creation of this management pack. So we have a set here of very commonly used fragments that you can select. We do still include the entire library of fragments, including a lot from Kevin Holman and some others in the community. When I select a fragment to use within my management pack, I simply fill out some of the parameters for that management pack. In this case, this is looking for a specific registry key for discovery purposes. We can go ahead and add that fragment to the management pack I'm working on. You'll see it'll create a class and a discovery. If I want to do some web transaction monitoring, we have a management pack to do exactly that. So I can go ahead and add a web monitor. So I'll target that class we created. I'll fill in just some information about thresholds, etc. Cloud. And I'll add that fragment to this management pack, which in turn adds a number of folders. We've got some views, some rules, some monitors, etc. And at this point, again, I can simply download that management pack if I want to begin using that within my environment or provide some more additional editing. So the Silect Portal MI, again, available in public preview today. I can work with my existing management packs. So we do provide a means of importing unsealed management packs that you have within your environment. Any management pack that we're working with in the portal, we do subject it to our versioning and change history reporting, so I can see changes that are being made to any one of the management packs in our portal MI. And we also provide an MP wiki. So this is just a pretty straightforward way of creating new reports on any of the management packs that live in the service, whether it's in the SEAL catalog or management packs that you're working with within your environment. So that's a really quick look at the new cloud.silect.com that we're introducing today. Again, for a limited time, it's completely free of charge. So we really encourage you to sign up, use the portal, let us know what you think, create some management packs, and again, really interested in that feedback that you may have. Okay, so at this point, Aakash, perhaps what I can do is hand things back over to you. Are there other questions that you would like to highlight and respond to? I think you're muted, Aakash.
Yeah, thanks. So I was just feeling all the questions that are going through. I was just seeing if there's any kind of pattern on the queries that are there. See, in terms of region, the Azure government region is being prioritized. That is one. In terms of other commercial regions, Canada is in our plans. I didn't see anything else. I'm still on the top few questions though. There are a few regions that we will be adding. Currently, what regions they are part of, I'll share the documentation where it's available. Let me. Okay, so that is one. And I was going through the survey. Most of the responses, or rather the majority of the responses for my question, which is what is stopping you from trying the SCOM MI, it was mainly around cost of SCOM MI. I believe it is more on the ambiguity more than the actual expenses or the actual cost being $6 per month. As I mentioned, I would encourage you folks to have a conversation with your Microsoft field representative, be it a customer engineer or be it the seller, account exec. Have a conversation with them and see how much is it going to be the actual cost. The $6 per VM per month is our base price. There is going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of discounting, and based on how your conversation goes with the field reps, there's going to be a lot of changes in the pricing, right? So the first step is that just like how all the costs, how the cost of every resource in Azure or Microsoft is documented and has a base price. Let's say the compute price of a VM of a specific series, let's say G series or a D series, it is having X dollars per month per VM. But that X is not the final amount which a customer pays. There is going to be a lot of back and forth, and then the price eventually changes. So similarly, SCOM MI also will have a pricing which may change as per the conversations with the field rep. The $6 per endpoint still is quite low costing when you compare this exact base price with your SCOM on-prem. I understand you may have procured it for a year basis or for a 3-year basis, and that cost may seem like really low when you divide it per month. But then if you look at the administrative costs, the labor costs which I talked about, all the the infrastructure cost, which other than the licenses you'll be paying for the local data center as well. So if you put all of that numbers together, the $6 per month per VM is going to be significantly lower. And as I mentioned, the $6 is the base price. There may be a lot of changes once you have a conversation with the field reps, right? If you're unaware who's the field rep, that is something which I'll not be able to help. But probably we will try to do a better job from in our documentation side point of view on what more details we can add in terms of cost, right? I see that some of the things is the other major pattern that I see are the prereqs in terms of, hey, I have to create a lot of things before I create SCOM MI. This is a learning curve for us as well, because SCOM has a lot of dependencies in terms of on-prem tech, be it domain or and while it's evolving into Azure cloud, there is a lot of accommodation of cloud tech in terms of VLAN and VNet and network security groups and whatnot. So we are trying. This is a product which is meant for both the worlds, or is a culmination of both the worlds, which is on-premise and cloud. So there is a bit of learning curve. If not learning curve, there is a bit of tech evolve that will happen soon, and then hopefully we will try to refine it as further as possible. But currently in its form, we have tried to make the prereqs as easy as possible and the deployment as much as possible, as easy as possible. Right. I'll open up to my team, Sai, Narasimha, if there were anything that you wanted to call out. I know, Narasimha, you had your hand up for a few minutes. If not, that's I'll try to field the questions as much as possible offline. There were a few questions regarding Web Console, which Mark has pointed out. Web Console of SCOM is not going to be supported and available with managed instance. I'm talking only with the SCOM MI, right? Not with the on-prem. We are recommending customers to move towards Azure Portal Experience, the Ops Console, and the Grafana dashboards. These are the major 3 UIs. Ops Console, as I mentioned earlier on the call, most of the things we will try to move towards Azure portal. We will make it as much as possible a PaaS type of an application. Some of the gaps that are there as management of management packs, right? I'm seeing Silect already has solved that. I don't know if we really need to solve that for currently, but yeah, management packs, management, maintenance schedule, tasks, automation tasks. Those are some things which are there in Ops console. We will eventually get them onto Azure portal. So the system center bundling, right? That's another very interesting question which Klaus has brought in. I understand System Center has a complete suite of products: SCOM, Service Manager, Config Manager, VMM, and all of them. We want to help customers eventually in their migration journey, help them to move from their System Center management products to Azure Service Management products. For example, if you've been using Orchestrator and SCOM, right? One is used for monitoring and Orchestrator used for automation, right? So we want to ensure SCOM MI or Azure Monitor has automation integration in Azure, right? So you're moving from one bundle to another bundle. You may not need to cross connect SCOM MI to Scorch, or let's say SCOM to automation, right? So you don't necessarily need to go ahead and cross connect them. You can move from one bundle to another. Of course, it is not apples to apples. You will not be able to convert exactly what is there in, let's say, Orchestrator to automation. There will be a bit of evolution there. But yeah, we will try to cover the gaps as much as possible. So in terms of, that's an interesting question, Parag, where you mentioned that, hey, can I send the data from SCOM MI to one specific tenant or multiple tenants? See, at the end of the day, the data from SCOM MI, you can push it to log analytics. The log analytics can be created in any tenant. Unfortunately, as of now, the data can be sent only to one log analytics in order to prevent duplication, in order to prevent, stale or irrelevant data. So, but the log analytics can be created at your specific destination. So you can push SCOM MI data to a destination of your choice. I'm sorry if I missed any questions. I will try to answer as much as possible. AI integration in the Copilot. It's a bit early currently to comment on that, but yes, we are evaluating easing the management capabilities or easing the management experience as much as possible. There are a few questions on the management pack solution, Harold, on the chat. So it'd be great if you can review them as well.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'm looking through some of the questions. I'm seeing some questions on some of the Microsoft MPs around M365 and Azure. Yeah, we'll certainly respond as in kind in terms of some of the things that we talked about today. Aakash, are you able to share any news about any work on MPs?
From the management pack, we are not currently developing any management packs per se. The existing authoring experience will remain as is. Eventually, we would want to get the management of MPs to Azure portal. When I say management, in terms of installation, updates, and removal or uninstallation. Those will be the basic three operations. Authoring of management packs is something that we have not yet considered. Truth be told, because there are plenty of solutions, including Silect's offering, right? So we will see if authoring is really required to be brought onto Azure portal, because authoring of monitoring rules in Azure Monitor is always there. So we don't necessarily need to build management pack experience in Azure portal. Does that answer your question, Harold?
Yeah. No, thanks, Aakash. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And there were a few questions with regards to SCOM on-prem and SCOM MI coexistence. One form of coexistence is multi-homing. From SCOM MI agent, right? The agent where the data is sent to SCOM MI, you can send the data to SCOM on-prem. Currently, we will add the supported scenarios once we make the existing feature, which is monitored resources, VM extensions, GA. We will provide more documentation and supported scenarios on agent multi-homing. That is one scenario in terms of coexistence of on-prem and SCOM MI. The second coexistence is in terms of, hey, can I have SCOM on-prem and SCOM MI, parallelly existing? As that kind of is your business requirement. There is no confusion on saying that, hey, you cannot use SCOM MI if you're using on-prem or vice versa. So there is no question about that. The third coexistence is on the latest version of SCOM. Hey, will there be the latest version of SCOM 2025 or 2024? Will it be available in SCOM MI? In short, SCOM MI is going to be the latest and greatest in terms of patches, in terms of features, and all of them, right? So the on-prem version will continue to remain in terms of in terms of servicing. We will release update rollups. For 2019, we will release UR6 in, let's say, in a couple of months. We released UR2 for 2022 recently, and we are evaluating the next version of SCOM on-prem. Still evaluating. We are not saying that, hey, we are going to release it right away. We are evaluating what is going to be probably SCOM 2025, right? So we are evaluating that new version. So for customers who cannot move to cloud, there will always be a SCOM on-prem supported version. And for folks who are having one foot in cloud and one foot in on-prem, SCOM MI would be the best way to go forward. In terms of agent, converging of agent to AMA is something that we have not considered. We've heard a lot of requests from customers, but eventually we see that it's not a big concern. So we have not had we have not put our hands up yet, saying that no, we are not going to invest in or move towards AMA. We will evaluate that in the future. Sharik. Yeah, so that's about it, Harold. Probably we can take these questions because I'm sure you don't want to be hanging on the call just to answer the question async.
Yeah, so we will be, and just the last question, we will make the materials available to the attendees, as well as we'll send out a copy of the recording of today's event. If there are some outstanding questions, perhaps Aakash and your team can answer those offline, and we'll do the same. I think a couple questions came in regarding some of the things we talked about today.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, I think we can wrap things up. Aakash, thank you so much for sharing that update with us and with the community. I think it's really, again, really exciting to see some of those developments coming with SCOM MI in particular, especially around some of the Grafana integration and workbooks and log analytics. So thank you to you and your team. And I know it's late there, so we'll let you go.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Appreciate this platform for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.